us start by thanking our brothers and sisters in Camp Liberty, the bravest of the brave. One day they will be free, and very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, since we met at this great rally last year, the world has become a much more dangerous place. We've watched the ongoing civil war in Syria, where Bashar al-Assad, supported and sustained by the Iranian regime, continues to butcher his own people. We've witnessed the fight against Daesh in Iraq, exploited by the Iranian-led sectarian militias, who are waging a genocidal campaign of ethnic cleansing against Iraq's Sunni population. We've seen the horrific terrorist attacks in Dhaka, Istanbul, Tunisia, Paris, Brussels, and last week the horrific bomb attack in Baghdad. Believe it or not, in the last 12 months, 28,000 people have been killed by the jihadists. But we need to know our enemy. We need to understand how Daesh, the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram, Hezbollah, and all the other extremist groups came into being. As Mrs. Rajabi said today, before the 1970s, there was no organized thinking in the world of Islam that condoned genocide and mass murder in the name of God. There was no collective attempt to establish an Islamic caliphate. It was only after the creation of an Islamic fundamentalist state in Iran by Ayatollah Khomeini in 1979 that the roots of worldwide jihad drew nourishment from the dung heap of the mullah's tyranny. Khomeini's extremist ideology became the role model for both Shia and Sunni fanatics. Both adhere to the same violent and despotic philosophy, which champions the creation of a universal Islamic caliphate through bloody violence and conquest. Both advocate the repression of women, the violation of basic human rights, and the total suppression of non-believers and opponents of Sharia law. The head of the snake is in Tehran. The Iranian regime exports terror. The Revolutionary Guards and the Quds Force supply arms, money, and military personnel to every Middle East conflict zone. If we wish to deal effectively with the growth of Islamist terror, then we need to cut off the head of the snake. No philosophy of terror and extremism can flourish in a soil enriched with tolerance and love. In the famous words of Sir Winston Churchill, all great things are simple, and many can be expressed in single words: freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, hope. These are the core values of the NCRI. These are the key principles of Mrs. Maryam Rajavi and the PMOI. Only by backing the main opposition to the mullahs can the West hope to cut off the head of the Iranian snake. Long live Mrs. Rajavi, long live the PMOI. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to introduce the next speaker, someone who is one of the world's most respected leaders, an international statesman who led the European Union's 28 nation states for a decade, while heading the European Commission, facing the rogue behavior of the mullah's regime. He said the Iranian people do not have the president or the regime they deserve. We fully agree, and we are delighted to have President José Manuel Barroso with us here today. Please welcome the President of the European Commission from 2004 to 2014 and the former Prime Minister of Portugal, José Manuel Barroso.